This is a unique PC, but what makes this PC truly different is not that it's a water-cooled system with the fastest consumer components. It's the material which forms the basis of its open-air case.
A material with the unyielding strength of steel, yet the weight of a feather. This miracle cloth is woven from thousands of microscopic strands. The age of carbon fiber, the black gold of the modern era.
The Overkill Apex skeleton is crafted from authentic carbon fiber rods, so it has unrivaled strength and durability. These rods are 5 times stronger than steel and twice as stiff, but also significantly lighter. Pair that with precision machined aluminium corners and a smoke glass side panel, we've made a PC that would even stand out amongst other high-end showcase systems. At Radium, we've built in these kind of open-air chassis before, but this case is something else in terms of quality and durability, thanks to its unique combination of composite materials. Carbon fiber, with the combo of strength and lightweight, makes it a no-brainer for a case for a water-cooled PC in my view. It's ultra stable, but easier to handle than a bulkier traditional case. But also, the look of the fiber is just cool. It's an elegant pop to this system, a statement piece that is different than just another bit of RGB. But I'll begin this build with the central basis of this system, probably the best motherboard out today. The flagship motherboard from one of the top brand names in PC gaming today, ASUS, the ROG Crosshair X870E Extreme. It's the ultimate foundation for a high-end PC with an AM5 chip, especially one as extreme as we are going for today. It's large, beautiful, and packed with high-end hardware. Aesthetically, I love it. It's a premium matte black with a slightly raised silver ROG symbol, and sporting a 5-inch full-color LCD screen, just casually affixed into our top left heatsink. Now for the silicon brain of this PC, the CPU. We're going for the absolute best outside of the Threadripper lineup, the 9950X3D from AMD. It's really the default choice as we enter 2026 for the top all-around chip. A great mix of blistering speed for gaming and high cores for everything else. This chip opened a new world for gaming CPUs, where in the past you'd pay for the extra cores with decreased gaming speeds. So in the end you'd have to compromise on one of two options. Lower speed, thus decreased gaming performance, but great for a work system with the extra cores. Or a lower core count, so you don't have the productivity performance you might require, but the best speeds for gaming. But the latest flagship X3D chip has revolutionized this. Now with new drivers and techniques, it has multi-threaded speeds that are just as strong as its blistering gaming rate. If you can afford to have this chip in your rig, this is the CPU you should choose. Now you've seen the CPU water block, another component from the ultra premium Overkill, the Core one. It often leads water cooling benchmarks, so it's an easy choice for high-end custom loops, with its German-engineered build quality and subtle RGB lighting. Before we start water cooling, I can unbox the graphics card for this PC, the ASUS Astral RTX 5090. It's my favorite air-cooled 5090, with a top-notch build quality and performance. But obviously today we're going to be tearing this beautiful cooler down and installing the PCB into an Overkill block. However, it is still clocked slightly faster than most 5090 models, so we'll get a little bit of extra performance. We've gone with a pretty classic design when it comes to water cooling. Clear tubes with a series of straightforward bends paired with black fittings. I've always been a fan of fairly conventional tubing designs. First of all, it's a lot less risky in terms of issues either immediately or down the line, but also it's just cleaner in my view. Rather than having a complex mess of tubing, it's a much more professional, intentional approach. Plus, with the array of carbon fiber the case features, this loop complements rather than dominating the build. The fiber and the loop both offer something interesting to look at, rather than one or the other dominating the design. For our coolant, we've opted for transparent blue. With clear tubing, it's great to have tinted coolant. It means we get a clear visual of the active flowing effect as the liquid is pumped around the loop, but it also ensures a longer lifespan than solid colors, which over time can increasingly congeal, specifically in the GPU and CPU water blocks. And looking at the result of this loop with this blue coolant, I have to say I like it. Tubing runs are nice and parallel, and with the big clear facing distro framed by blacked out aluminium and carbon fiber, we really have a showcase build in a showcase chassis. With our build complete, now is the time to put this PC through its paces. Simply, we're going to run this system through Firmark and Cinebench to check GPU and CPU temps, plus 2 very popular games, Battlefield 6 and Ark Raiders, for a more realistic view of what the end user would really experience rather than a raw stress test. But before we dive in, this will be a real test of performance today. I'm downstairs at the Radium locale, not in the air-conditioned studio upstairs, and it's a very hot summer's day in Melbourne, with room temp hovering around 33 degrees, or 92 Fahrenheit. I even needed to stop filming at one point as my camera overheated. So let's start with Ark Raiders. We're set up at 4K max or epic settings, and it might be hot, but this water-cooled PC handled it with no dramas. After 20 minutes running around and blasting arcs, the 5090 averaged a very frosty 40 degrees. On to Battlefield 6, also at 4K max. This PC breezed through this title. After 40 minutes with this system hardly even ramping up, we averaged 42 degrees and maxed out at just 54. Now let's really push the premium Astral 5090 that's been turned into a water-cooled piece to its full extent. It will be pulling the maximum power draw of 600 watts, so how will it do in this hot warehouse? After 20 minutes with this system going through the real pressure, I'm pumped with the performance, considering just how hot the surrounding temperatures are. The average was 62 on the button, and temp was maxing out at just over 66. This is below what most air-cooled 5090s would do, and well below all air-cooled models on a hot summer's day like today. But we can't neglect the CPU. Let's see how its temperatures will land with some testing. Our program to stress the 9950 X3D is Cinebench. After the full multi-core test, we're seeing a very comfortable average of 64 degrees, and maxed out at 73. Really, this is a perfect result. Nowhere near where the temps might see the chip thermal throttling, just the best consumer chip in the world breezing through this render test. These tests really do show the benefits of a water-cooled system. The advantage over a traditional air-cooled setup is that this loop is just a blunt instrument of cooling. But thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.